Kindness seems kind of hard to come by today, doesn't it? I don't know that kindness is any more scarce than it was 20 years ago, but sometimes it kind of feels that way. I think a big reason it feels that way sometimes is because so many of us spend so much time on social media, and social media can feel so overwhelmingly negative a lot of the time. Part of this is because of human sin, and part of this is because the algorithms at the heart of so many of the most popular social media platforms have been engineered to float negativity to the top because it generates more attention, which generates more engagement, which generates more dollars for these platforms. But that's another conversation for another time. The point is this: kindness feels rare, even if it isn't, and living with kindness can go a long way to building trust among people in your life. At the same time, we would be wise to equip ourselves with convictional kindness. Being kind doesn't mean we need to become some sort of doormat, as it's often described, or something like that. We can stand by our convictions and still be kind. Specifically, in our role as Christians trying to effect change in our communities, we need to be cognizant of the reality that many people feel burned by the church today. Some feel burned by the church because they've had personal, hurtful interactions with church leaders, either recently or in the past. Abuses by church leadership are a major factor in the deconstruction trend we see in American churches today, and there is a course here in Mending Division Academy that focuses on how to tackle that problem. Others feel negatively toward the church and Christians today because they see how strangers act in the name of Christ, either on the internet or in their communities, and they are repulsed by what they see. Still, some others have had bad feelings about the church and Christians because of foundational tenets of Christianity and the implications of those beliefs on broader life. Of course, we don't want to compromise these foundational beliefs in an effort to reach people, because we would be reaching them with something less than the full gospel, which we shouldn't want to do. And this is why we must have convictional kindness. We need to be willing to live with love and grace and winsomeness, all while not giving in on the tenets of our faith that may be uncomfortable or even disgusting to people who do not trust Christ. A lot of us do a pretty good job of living with conviction. Social media has emboldened thousands of keyboard warriors who will viciously defend aspects of Christian faith and church practice from the comfort of their own offices and living rooms, but who do not know what it's like to practically care for people with the heart of Christ outside the walls of their homes. Some of us even do a pretty good job of living with the sort of kindness that lacks any real backbone. We are kind to the people around us as long as everyone is happy, but as soon as someone expresses concern with how we live our lives or criticizes us in some way, we fold and just give in to people-pleasing because we would rather everyone be happy than do what needs to be done. Too few of us, I think, live with convictional kindness. It requires great courage to humble ourselves so that we are kind and gracious while also living with confidence and certainty that God has given us all we need to do what He has called us to do. Conviction and kindness are both important for mending division, and if we are going to regain or begin building trust in our communities within an environment that is increasingly hostile to authority, we must demonstrate both.